This is an update on my Bitcoin mining farm. So I'm running mini miners, right? Things like the BitX Gamma, the Canon Nano miners, even the Mini 3 to Q, to customized S19s and things like that. Of course, I'm running full-size miners out here on the farm as well. Hey, I'm Vosk, you're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. This is the VoskCoin farm. I mine a bunch of cryptocurrencies, but a lot of these altcoins have been going pretty poorly. One in particular is going great, so like that was cool, but another one just blew up in my face. So I've been spending more time just optimizing my Bitcoin mining setup in particular. I also just deployed another 3 S21 XPs, so that's basically another $15,000 into top of the line current generation Bitcoin mining hardware, the best efficiency and really hash rate that money can buy right now, especially if you only have single phase electricity. Of course, there are some better miners on the horizon, just one of them being the S23, which is essentially the successor to the S21 series. But those are not out yet, and my trigger finger is itching. So let's dig into what's my hash rate, what are some of my expenses, why did I just turn off 20 something mining rigs? Is it over? Am I capitulating, or am I sending myself to a mining farm, or did I hit a solo mining flag? I mean, I present to you the numbers. The numbers indeed. I'm tired of shit coins. I don't care if Ztrash pumped. Preach. Thank you. Taking profits. But, you know, Cadena rugged me. That sucks. Anyway, looking at Bitcoin miners, right? And my electricity rate, I'm going to have to just use 9 cents per kilowatt hour for now because that's what it really is. And it's been going up, and the short of it is that's frustrating. So if you have the right Bitcoin miners and the right setup here, you could be pulling $33 a day. But more realistically, right, is really going to be the top of the line here, S21 XP, and this is the typical air-cooled version, and the mining profitability on that is all the way down to $5.76, and it's expensive. It's one of the most expensive cost per terahash, right? And so this is calculated on Mining Now, mining profitability calculator. Shout out to them, they support the channel, and they're a good useful tool that I use to help refine my mining operation. Also notice we're reading this at 554, but I'm mining Bitcoin, so based on this, my actual profit per day is 476 per device, not the higher one, 495. What up? Bitcoin price continues to slip, not helping anyone on the mining front. We look at the daily emission here. It's about 50 million. That's been pretty standard for a while, right? But just the difficulty, the network hash rate continues to climb there. You may wonder, why did I have to go to page 2? Well, to pull up Cadena that's put out $1,000 in mining profitability in the last day. And you may be like, what? Right next to another project that has lost me so much money. That was pretty annoying. Neoxa has been just abysmal. One of my worst investments in crypto history. I wish that I didn't. I listened to other people to make that investment, and instead of just finding interest and spark in my own research. So like that's been terrible for my net worth. Cadena, terrible for my net worth. I'm talking paying thousands and thousands of dollars year over year running multiple Cadena mining rigs. Many of them I bought for about $10,000. You know, current generation top of the line. I mean, how embarrassing is that Z Classic of all things is putting out 6 times the daily emission of Cadena? And you may say, well, I thought this was a Bitcoin mining farm update. Why are you talking about this? I mean, I just feel it needs to be touched on because Cadena capitulated. So heads up if you somehow missed that. And, you know, I dumped my stuff, tried to salvage what I could on that front. But, you know, brings my attention and focus more back towards Bitcoin mining. So I've been creeping upwards in the Bitcoin mining game around 8 petahash. I would be over 9 petahash, but my T21 on LuxOS has broken. So either Luxor's operating system contributed to its downfall, or the fact that it was an immersion fluid. It was underclocked the entire time, so I'm a bit surprised and disappointed. I'm not blaming Luxor, just to be clear, but these aftermarket firmwares like Luxor and Brains are meant to maximize your hash rate and efficiency, not necessarily the longevity of your mining rigs. And for example, when I sent one of my S21 XPs that broke into repair to Bitmain, I sent in for warranty service to see what they would do. They denied my warranty claim, sent me a bill, and said that this is broken because of Brains OS. Well, all right then. Anyway, the point is, it got over 1 petahash of down Bitcoin mining hash right now. So I have that stuff out or on the way back from being repaired, and just trying to work through that as I can with my limited time right now. With some miners being hosted. For example, if you look at my workers, I've got miners at multiple hosting locations, but one of those would be Musk Miners. Shout out to them. They're supporter of the VoskCoin YouTube channel. We just got some cool merchant from them as well, so that's pretty sweet. So they can sell you hardware, they can host your rigs, all that stuff. And they have deals from new hardware to used hardware. And then on their fact page, you can see what it costs per unit, shipping, and how you can get into an 8 cent per kilowatt hour with a minimum order quantity of 1. Well, that's pretty interesting because like I'm paying 9 cents per kilowatt hour right now, and I have to do all the work myself, right? And they could go and run it, and I'm also running all the supporting equipment, right? So it's like I'm not just all in 9 cents. Right, so they would only charge me for running the rig, not the fans on the actual container there. Regardless, I press on. So you can see my miners here ranked by hash rate one day, and I've very much modernized my mining fleet with a heavy investment into S21 XPs. You can see all of these with the XPs. They are S21 XPs, and I have three that are not here right now because they're broken. Recently, I powered down a bunch of old hardware, many altcoin mining rigs, but I'm blanking on the number now, like basically 20 something S19 series miners. So I had over 50 workers on here. Now I only have 34. And this will go up by 3 when I get my other S21 XPs back. And then this 3 that's offline, that will come off all the way because I'm moving those permanently to solo mining. So you can see I have an S21 Pro, an S21, and a 1346 that I moved over to CK Pool for solo mining. And if you follow the channel, which means you're a subscriber probably, which means you're awesome, you may say, well, why aren't you mining to your own node? It's really simple. I'm not just a miner, I'm also a content creator, and it's just so hard to present the solo mining data with how shitty of a UX public pool has, and then it's also not publicly accessible, right? So I want you to be able to click my link down in the video description below, and I'll short link this so it's easy to just type in, I don't know, like VoskCoins, vosco.in/solo or something. I don't know. I'll figure out a link. But the point is, like, I want you to go on there and be like, well, how is the BMM 100 doing? And you can click on this. You can see the performance. You can see if it's up. You can see if it's down. And I'm gonna run through all the solo miners, make sure they're all good to go. But other than some old workers that have been offline for a long time because I changed their name or they just completely failed or whatever. I want this to be like essentially open source mining performance of the solo miners, of the mini miners, who's topping the charts, and then also, right, who's got the best shares. Because at the end of the day, it's all about your high score in the shares. Like, that's the cool thing about solo mining. And then obviously, if one day you hit a share that's higher than the difficulty, you're going to be that block winner. You're gonna be a blocker. And you can check your stats for solo mining real time with Solo Luck, best solo Bitcoin mining calculator in the history of man. I know. I'm proud of it. We made it. By flipping over those 3 big miners and the mini miners I have online right now, I'm somewhere around 550 terahash a second. It says 5N 587. We'll see where this stabilizes. Really, once I get all the other mini miners online, I should definitely be around 600. So that would give me a 1 in 36 chance to hit a Bitcoin block over the next year. Like, I could get down with that. A 1 in 13,000 chance daily. So I'm gonna hit a Bitcoin block. I'm manifesting it. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it before the halving because I'm surely gonna get 3.125 Bitcoin instead of half of that. Obviously, you get the transaction fees on top of that as well. There's this additional data on Solo Luck. So anyway, free solo mining calculator. Check it out and support the channel. In any way, shape, or form, sharing videos, using our links, all that stuff, if you enjoy the content. So I'm going to move some more hash rate over there to solo mining. I have a couple random goals for example on CK Pool. If you go to their homepage, you look at their top 10 active user hash rates, and it's only 1 petahash. Right, if I move my whole farm over, I could be numero uno right now. And sometimes some absolute juggernauts flip over, so it won't always be top dog. But it's I want to go for it. I want to stamp I'm gonna stamp my farm onto the Bitcoin blockchain and be able with absolute certainty of like, yeah, I mine that block. And we're late in the game. It's really hard to mine a Bitcoin block now, right? Like a while ago, we saw a video, we did solo mining endeavor with CKB miners on 2 miners. And I mean, I don't know, smashing like 14 blocks a day or something. It was so many blocks, it almost wasn't like fun. And I'm not trying to sound arrogant or something. Like the blocks were easy to find on that network, all things considered, with the full-size miners. So I hope the big miners make this an actual, like, realistic, it's gonna happen sooner or later a statistic. But I'm really, really rooting and cheering and truly hoping that one of the mini miners will actually be the David versus Goliath scenario that actually hits and solves that Bitcoin block. So looking at my recent hash rate on the farm, this will probably be my all-time high hash rate at this rate, 8337. Let's go back in time really quick. So 8337, still the high. Peaked over 8 over there. I'm gonna frame this on the screen right now, my little digital plaque. This is my all-time high hash rate in one location. So, really, if I had all my miners, I'd be so close to 10. And, I'll get an S23 when they come out and see where everything goes. I'll get to 10 sooner or later. But what does this kind of hash rate get you right now? So it mines me 0.00357 BTC. So that's about $386 of BTC. And I've had too many miners contributing to that. And really what's crazy is, remember how many miners I said that I turned off? I mean, look at my chart here, right? So I'm sitting here with 51 workers, and then flipped over some gear, moved some things around, whatever, right? So basically I flip over 51, right? And then we go back towards 37, which coincides with the 34 minus 3. So 51 to 37, that's reducing Bitcoin miners just on this mining pool. Some of these were elsewhere again. So that's dropping about 1/3 of my Bitcoin mining fleet. I dropped 1/3 of my Bitcoin mining fleet, and I removed 2 current generation miners that I sent them to solo mining, the S21 and the S21 Pro. One of the other ones, the 1346, previous gen, it's worth about 100 terahash. But huge drop off in my actual Bitcoin miners here. And yet I still am hitting at about 7 petahash a second. So it looks like I'm going to be right on the line there. There's a couple miners that are going to be re-energized that are just right there on the cusp of being worth it as far as earning more than they're burning, right? And just to be clear, if I kind of sped through it and it went too fast, right? We'll look at just the S19s here. One of the miners I had was a T19, and that thing just needed to go. So face value before underclocking, making them more efficient, which I did that with all of these, but you can only make a gas guzzler so efficient as far as MPGs go. You look at this, minus 264, minus 240, minus 167, minus 157. I mean, I can't sustain this kind of burn. At this point, we look at these numbers and the cost and the risk. It's like, I need Bitcoin to double to be like, yeah, like that was worth it. Like I mined $10 of Bitcoin, right, to exit. And then it cost me $6.63 to run it. So I'm coming out with $4, right? So I'm risking $6.66 and hoping and assuming this doubles to maybe make $4. There's just better places to put my capital than in my electric utilities pocket at this point, right? And whatever that is, more efficient miners, buying other gear. I mean, we talked a lot about Bitcoin mining stocks. Those have been absolutely rolling. And I do this stuff all day, every day. I'm not afraid to take up short-term trade positions. I live in the market, and I know on the channel side, I mainly talk about the farm, the build out, document the journey, mining, but I'm trading every day. Maybe not, I'm not trading every day. I'm trading often, I'm trading a lot. And I'm investing even more than I would say that I'm trading, right? I'm buying into positions and so forth. The point is I'm locked in, I'm tuned in, I'm wired to the freaking market, man. I live this shit. So I need to be living on the front end, the pointy end of this stuff, on the high speed side, because that's that's the level that I'm tuned in, especially, you know, kind of getting settled back in a little bit, you know, post newborn, all that. And I got the Emperor's New Groove going, baby. Let's get it. So to round it out for this video, right, you know, pushing towards 600 terahash a second on solo mining right now. We'll see where that goes. I'm still going to be running numerous of my own Bitcoin nodes, and I'll point a couple of things to my own nodes, you know, to keep running my own private mining pool instance and things like that. But I think this will be a lot more fun and easier to kind of present here on the channel. You know, as far as the video series and stuff like that goes. But I've said it before, and I'm saying it again, and I'm getting more and more serious. I'm gonna hit a Bitcoin block, and they'll be like, "Oh, it must be nice. You got so lucky." It's like, no, bro. You'll see how much really went into that. You know, so I'll keep pool mining. I'm also going to pull some miners off here, which will reduce my hash rate. I've already started some of that to test current mining pool profitability. I'm not married to Brains or anything like that. It's just what I've been using, especially because I've been running their OS on a lot of gear, but I've been running their OS on a lot of gear that I just turned off. So that opens up the door a little bit more for kind of where my head's at and what we can do there and where we can go. So if you like the content, you want to support the channel, again, you know, you support our links, share the video, all that stuff. And we're also an affiliate of Coin Mining Central. They sell all kinds of miners, and most importantly, they sell Bitcoin miners. Little ones, big ones, massive hydro packages. So, you know, one of the more interesting miners that's new right now is the A2 Pro. Dollar for dollar, and the efficiency, I don't find it that interesting in particular. The S23 has great specs, but is awfully priced. I mean, $8,700 for 318 terahash per second. That's a no for me, dog. I mean, I want to see what these kind of land at, you know, in the near future, but this price is coming down for sure. I would never be caught dead paying that for that, especially on a futures order. They're not even in stock anywhere. You can't get them, right? You can buy old S19s like the ones I'm turning off for like $500. It's crazy. So I also have the T3 on order to see kind of what that looks like and how that performs. I'm actually having issues with my Avalon queues. And they both hit me with issues out of nowhere. I don't know if they overheated. I need to dig into it. They blame the filter, and they're not working. They're not mining, but that cost me 180 terahash, which is pissing me off. And it's sitting right next to the Canon Mini 3 that's just chugging along like everything's going great. So I like this. I like the Mini 3, and I'm frustrated. I need to carve out some time to figure out what's wrong with this stupid queue. I mean, it stands for freaking question. What's going on? So anyway, that's the current situation. Probably best bang for buck. Bitcoin miner right now would be the S21 Plus, 235-ish terahash a second, 3,300 before any coupon codes. So do whatever you want to do, not pushing stuff on you. I do like their USA stock section. That's a cool touch, right? So I get an S21. I know it's here. I don't have to worry about tariff anything. Like, I paid $300 in tariffs in my recent miners, and that's like a good deal as far as tariffs goes. Who knows? I'm Vosk, you're the VoskCoin YouTube channel. This is 10 Seconds of Tales. We always been 10 seconds of the super cutie pup. I appreciate you. Good luck. Keep chasing the dream, and I hope you and me smash some of these next incoming Bitcoin blocks.
Ah.